yeah, and they get you to say it. Or they trick you. They open up a basketball court and they try to play basketball with you. Hey, how's it going? And, you know, I'm talking about like Police Activities League, these type of programs where the police are actually not just playing basketball, they're gathering intelligence, right? Organizing dances, right? And that's what they do in our city, at least. Oh, sorry. GFI, those are those field cards where it never goes into a court record or anything until later. It's just a little Rolodex kind of thing that they have, and they write it. Now with all the technology, they type it, so they're identifying you. So the 3 again, here's the 14 rules of living. And we've highlighted in blue the ones that are, quote, non-violent, right? Or that are not illegal usually, right? It's something that we have a right to associate, wear clothes, and be outside after 10. But the other things are already illegal. So they sneak those 3 in, and that's how they're getting everybody. With the clothing, with the association, and with the curfew. That's how they're getting everybody. From time to time, they will do a seizure of somebody that was, you know, operating some type of like drug business, right? Trying to make money. But that's few and far between. That's just the process. The police document gang members. They give it to the district or city attorney. They grant the temporary restraining order for the preliminary injunction. Defendants respond or do not respond. After 45 days, they put it into full effect, or they challenged it. For example, in Oxnard, we challenged it. We took it to court. We were able to change some of the language for the curfew because it was way too broad. We didn't defeat it by stopping it, just because our county, like most counties, are super conservative. Ventura County District Attorney is a hardcore right-winger. Okay? And then it just goes into effect permanently. And it's going to be there. It's going to be there until we challenge it and push it and show that it's not working. One, to reduce any type of violence in our communities. It's not providing any type of alternatives, right? Such as like what the compas from Youth Justice Coalition have been, and others have been working on. So, what happens? It's a catch and release. It's meant to, they capture you, they take you in for 2 weeks, sometimes a little more, and they fine you. And they keep doing it. They keep doing it with the intention of 3 things. One of 3 things, or all 3. One, where you're in your house. They don't want to see you. You just stay in your house, man. We don't want to see you outside. 2, if you aren't in your house, then we're going to put you behind bars. So we are not seeing you. Or the 3rd one is, you move out of the whole town. You move to Arizona, but then there's a problem. Arizona's passing these laws, so then where are you going to move next? So it's just gentrification, right? It's the severing of our community, roots, culture, history. Okay, this is a map of the gang injunction in Oxnard. And so, for example, this is the high school, because when the police came out, they said, we're going to go after the hardened criminals. But they said they were going to go for 18 and over adults. But that wasn't true. They started going immediately after youth as well, juveniles. So that's a high school, Walmart shopping center, the hospital. This is the neighborhood they were going after. City Hall, all the other, the community college, because the campus police there, community college, they're also taking pictures. Hey, these homies are coming and getting educated. What's going on here, right? That's a triple threat, right? A Mexican, a homie, and educated, right? So they're like, we got to do something about these people. So that's making it difficult to even do that. All the other high schools are also within this territory. Now, I'm going to show that same map a little bit later, and you'll see why what compañera was saying, Kim was saying that it's about gentrification. It's about destroying communities. And I'll show you what we mean by that. This blue area is the downtown area. A spaceship landed there recently, and I call it the spaceship, but it's one of these huge mall kind of things that has the usuals. Starbucks, a huge multiplex theater, and what's that? Ice cream place, Cold Stones, right? So that thing landed in downtown, and the whole point of the injunction is so people that are labeled gang members don't go to these places. So you can't go to here. You can't be here with any of your friends. And all these rules only apply within this zone. So if you leave town up north to Ventura, they can't do anything about the gang injunction. It doesn't work there. It's only within the zone. or you move to the neighboring city, Port Hueneme, or if you have resources, you move out to like the beach area. You know, all this fields and businesses. So essentially, the new breed of gang injunctions, because there's a difference. Let's go ahead. These are all the LA injunctions. We heard it was over 70 already here. So LA is the capital of these gang injunctions in the valley, and it is spreading. And what I mean by spreading is if we go to the next one, brother. Okay, San Diego. San Diego has 12, and actually it's now up to 15 gang injunctions in San Diego. All right, brother. And the thing is that they pass it. At first, they have a small injunction zone, and then they go back, hey, the gang's spreading. We need to open up the zone. So they go back and they reauthorize a new zone. And so they're actually expanding. Now the difference I'm going to show you between, because supposedly in the case, Acuña Gallo case, where gang injunctions were challenged all the way to the state Supreme Court, the court decided that these were constitutionally sound, right? The gang injunction of those days is different than this new gang injunctions that's starting to spread after 2000. Because before, let's say, the case was a San Jose case, by the way, Northern California. Before, this is not it, but I'm just going to show you as an example. What they were saying is that, quote, gang members were causing a nuisance by coming from somewhere else into a 4-block area in San Jose. So the court restrained them from going to that 4-square-block area. So they stopped going there. They went to another neighborhood or whatever, they spread around. The new gang injunctions, as compañera was saying, is so wide, and the majority of the people live within the injunction zone. So you're stepping outside your house, you're in the zone, versus what they said was constitutional, that you can't go to that park. Now it's like you step out of your house, you're in the zone. Because the entire city, if you've seen the one in Oxnard, are included. And the whole thing about if they work or not, it's clear. You can see that when a gang injunction is issued, it quiets down a little bit, but then it goes right back up because we're not dealing with the root causes of what's happening. And we believe it's the same things that were being addressed by the compañera earlier. Jobs, what in the film itself, the youth was saying what we need, right? And so it's a political tool for politicians so they could come out and say they're getting tough on crime and sell themselves, right? And the reality is, as we've seen in the film and also in compañera's presentation earlier, that it's about resources. Land, economic, political, social resources that are, because of our situation, we come at it from an angle of colonization, counterinsurgency. In other words, they're capturing the best and brightest, most radical elements in our community from becoming revolutionaries. We say that. They're like, what? You're crazy, right? No, this is what's happening. Because we know that it was during the Black Power movement and the Chicano Power movement and the Indigenous Peoples movement, AIM, and things like that. We were organizing ourselves and we were fighting for those resources that we're doing still today. But it was immediately after they destroyed those movements that you see the hike and the spike that was said earlier. They mentioned in the film. And so it really isn't about stopping violence in the community. It's really about containing us or dispersing us so we don't organize ourselves. That's what this gang injunction is about. Because if the homeboys start talking with each other, we're in college, talking about how our land was stolen, what we need to do to get our resources back, and actually get ourselves into an organization and fight for those things. So what do? Well, we do what the tool at our disposal to fight these things is organization. We believe so strongly in that. We cannot fight this on our own. That's why it's good to have these type of presentations, because we get to collaborate. Youth Justice Coalition came to a statewide conference that we all kind of put together in Oxnard during this time. And we all started networking with the Sacramento folks and the San Diego folks, because the police and the district attorneys are having their conferences about how they're going to share their resources and screw us over and